Hello everyone and welcome back to another edition of West Ham Fan TV's Post-Match Pint, the only West Ham United post-match fallout show on the internet. We've just been to the Bournemouth game. West Ham 3, Bournemouth 4. This is getting a bit of a joke. This is getting a bit repetitive. I don't think we've ever won since we've started doing this show. What the fuck has gone on?
Cancel the show.
I think we might have to. I mean, this is a disgrace. This is becoming a disgrace. That was a disgraceful first half.
Oh yeah, it's
and
the same.
End of the second half.
It's the same as Leicester, wasn't it, last week, the first half? But I don't know.
I think this week was worse than last week.
Oh yeah, no, it definitely was. But then again, you can't take it away from Bournemouth. I thought they played well.
Well, the team ain't gone in the league. They're new to the league. Do you know what? I called this before the start of the season, right? They're going to come here. Leicester are going to come with their tails up. New manager. They did. They beat us. Bournemouth are going to come here. New team in the league. Tails up. They did. They beat us.
I said on Periscope earlier, Bournemouth ain't scored this season. They ain't won this season.
4.
Enter West Ham.
Right, so it's what we said. You know, when we done a preview show yesterday, we picked out Matt Ritchie and the striker
Callum Wilson
as their main target. We can see it.
Their two forwards skinned our defence today, and they shut down everything. Let's go on to the game. Right, we start. It was
we had the goal disallowed, didn't we? Early.
Yeah,
it was a push.
Was it a push?
Blatant push.
I couldn't see it from where I was.
Yeah, I was sitting above it, and it was blatant push.
Goal disallowed early doors. I thought, you know what? I thought we had no troubles up to it. And then all of a sudden, their defence. I don't know what happened to them.
They just.
Cresswell and Jenkinson today.
Jenkinson was the amount of times he gave that ball away today. You know, if I had a quid for every time, I'd be going home a rich man tonight.
He was poor. Cresswell was poor.
Both of them.
That Ritchie roasted Cresswell.
Their forwards just pressed so high up the pitch, and they just too casual from West Ham defenders today.
Well, the two goals were Cresswell's fault.
Yeah,
first one he
give it away.
Give it away, and the second one he tried to knock it back to Randolph,
which is ridiculous, especially in that area. It's just, I think Billy's just trying to get them to play from the back, and I think they're overplaying from the back. You know, when there's times when you should just gun. You can't. You know, we don't want to gun it forward all the time, but there's times when you've got to get down the other end of the pitch. You can't piss ball about.
No, I know. We have to go back to big Soundways, lumping it up there sometimes.
You've got to mix it. You can't do the same thing over and over again. No. You lump it up there all the time, teams pick you up.
But they would have watched us against Leicester last week. They would have seen how hard them two forwards worked, and they caught us out again last week. And they would have looked at that and they would have went, right, that's where we can get at West Ham. And that's exactly what they did. And for a team, I mean, the wide positions for West Ham, I mean, they're just not working. I could see it from where I was. You could see it because you were sitting next to me. You could see it. They were skinning us down the left. He needs to offer a bit more protection to him over there. I think I think he's got the formation totally wrong today. And for a team that's playing with 4 central midfielders with no wide players, we was second to every single ball in the centre. They overrun us and they had so much time and space.
I was very surprised that he started Nolan today. I really thought he was going to go with Lanzini or Jarvis.
The thing is, Nolan started up front, right? And to me, that's wrong. One, he ain't a fucking forward, and two, as much as we slag off Maiga, he's a striker. He should be playing in front of Nolan up top. And for me, Nolan today showed he's got nothing to give us. Well,
that shows how much faith Spence has got in Maiga.
Yeah.
You know,
but that's going to knock him again. He's come on today. Let's be fair to Maiga, right? We won't go too far because we've got some more goals to talk about. There's a lot of goals to talk about today. But he's come on today and he's done 2 or 3 defenders and slotted it in the bottom corner.
Yeah, no, he was chasing things down. But yeah, like we say, we'll go on to that in a minute. Let's get this poor first half out of the way.
For me, with the first half, right? First off, starting Nolan was a no-no. Shouldn't have happened. Right.
Where was Oxford?
Don't know.
Not even on the bench today. No. Not even on the bench.
Didn't he pick up a knock in training or something?
I really don't know, but I was very surprised.
I know he said he was on Twitter this morning wishing everyone luck and that fact, so that sort of thingy he weren't in the squad.
Yeah.
But they said you look at that line, look at the starting lineup. I just think you got it wrong. You can't have Nolan playing up front, and we were carrying Nolan. And the thing with Payet needs to play in that free role behind the strikers. and you can't have Payet playing a free
It's clear
role.
to see that Sacco can't do it on his own.
No.
How many times he went down that wing and he had no one in there?
Yeah.
No one even. And this was the first half. No one even chasing forward to get in that box.
I said to you before, about 20 minutes into the game, before they'd even scored, I said he's doing all Nolan's running. Nolan was very central.
Yeah.
Do you know what? You're going to say this because we lost and all that. I know. I'm not just saying it, but I'll tell you what. Today he just got it totally wrong. Totally wrong.
From the starting lineup for me was wrong. Again, I think we underestimated Bournemouth. So they hadn't scored a goal till today, but both games they played well. Both games they
They're a
created
good
chances.
team.
Yeah.
You don't score over 100 goals in the Championship and smash the Championship if you're a poor team.
They are. What can I say? They're a good ball keeping side. They play the same sort of system as us, but do it 10 times better.
Yeah, because they've got players that work.
But that's it. Their work rate was better.
There was no shape today.
And they moved the ball.
Let me tell you something now. We was 2-0 down and we was on the attack and Creswell lost the ball in their half and they went forward and he jogged back. He didn't put no
Let's
effort
talk a little bit about Aaron
into
Creswell, because I want to say he has had a poxy start to the season. Yeah? A poxy start. He had a blinding season last season. Yeah? Cracking player. Hammer of the year. As all this talk about City and the 25-30 million pound transfer, has this gone to his head a little bit? Is he starting to think? Is he starting to believe his own hype? Right?
No, I don't know. I don't know. I think
because he was poor and he doesn't look like he gives a fuck.
I wouldn't say he didn't give a fuck, but I just feel like you said, he was so good last season that if he'd have had an average season last year, we wouldn't really be noticing it now. You know what I mean? But he had such a good season last year. Yeah.
So both of them exactly the same. They had such a good season last. Are we expecting a bit too much from them? Are we expecting them to be as good as they were last season? Because they probably had 1 or 2 bad games in the whole season, the pair of them.
But they have been poor.
Yeah,
Jenkinson, I don't know whether it's lack of fitness, lack of whatever, but he didn't play against Arsenal. We got a decent result against Arsenal. I'm not saying it's all Jenkinson's fault. It'd be wrong to say that, but I'm just saying he didn't play against Arsenal. He hadn't played a lot of games for us before. He'd been left out of a few Arsenal squads. He hadn't. Is he lacking fitness? Because he doesn't. His sharpness just looks so off.
I think you were right in what you said previously before, that splitting the squads for the Europe and the friendlies hasn't helped.
Yeah, but Jenkinson wasn't with us, was he? He was with England.
So that's what I'm saying. But as much as he played that tournament for England, he hasn't had a pre-season with the boys who were playing at the back. And that defence, they played at the back together against last week. They played it, but they're still new, and it's a new style of play. It's just everything's new. It's hard for them.
It's like the Ogbonna substitution. I mean, I didn't get that at all.
No,
I see him, Tompkins coming on, and I said to the bloke next to me, I said, I think Jenkinson will go off here. He's been really poor. And when I see Ogbonna go up, I don't think he's injured. He was injured.
He looked disappointed. He looked bemused.
I don't blame him because I didn't think he was doing that bad.
We said
he was one of our better players.
He was our best player.
Yeah, I just don't really understand that with Bilic.
He looked, when his number and the announcer said his name, he just looked as if to say.
So what's he going to do next week in Liverpool? Start Tompkins over Ogbonna? Because I didn't think Reid was all that today.
Well, he got right back.
To be fair, I thought Reid got better when Tompkins came on.
Well, Tompkins going to have to go right back then. Like he did at Arsenal, we'll probably get a win at Liverpool.
Yeah, but let's move on. Poor first half. Everyone before the game was talking about Randolph, and they was worried about Randolph. You know what? An announcement come up at the end of the game, man of the match. I totally agree.
So do I.
Well, he saved that he pulled off just before half time, kept us in that game.
Yeah.
Give us a fighting chance in the second half.
If he hadn't saved that one, that would have been 6 or 7.
Don't say that. He would have killed himself.
He's conceded about 15 goals.
He couldn't have picked. I think he'd have rather played at City away in his first game than Bournemouth at home.
Oh, totally.
Because it's got to be, because Eddie Howe would have said, look, everything, shoot at him, hit everything, cross into him, make him make mistakes.
I don't think he didn't. The only thing for me he done wrong, there was a couple of times when he could have launched the ball out to Quixote when he's got the ball in his hands.
Yeah, but that's technical. That's technical.
That's the only things he did wrong for me.
Yeah, I don't think he had a bad game. I'm not saying
I thought he had a really good game.
Yeah, he pulled us. Another one in the second half.
He had no chance with them goals. No chance.
Hold on.
Oh yeah.
in 10 minutes.
What was it?
Yeah. It's like I'm getting nothing out of this.
What would do second half if you move sort of that way and then yeah?
I think you sit in Graham's seat. Why don't you sit down?
It's better.
Yeah?
Yeah.
No, actually, sit back in your seat.
Sure?
Yeah.
Right.
Sit back.
Right, boys.
Sit down forward.
Oh, sorry about that, it was hot. Yeah, so Randolph, good game. I'm literally, I'm lost for words about this game, to be honest. I'm lost for words.
You don't know, that first half performance, if it's just, like we said, Leicester, both first halves have been awful. Second half, alright, positives wise, we won the second half.
Well, second half we come out, penalty straight away.
Yeah.
Noble tucks it away. Oh yeah, of course it was, because I could see that from where I was sitting. Noble tucks it away, 2-1. Same as we did against Leicester. It was all buzzing, but this time we got that second goal.
Yeah.
You know, and then I thought, right, we're going to go and get a third now. But then Eddie Howe done exactly what Ranieri done.
Exactly. Made
the tactical sub.
Let's talk about our two goals. We, to be fair, penalty, nailed on penalty, I thought.
Oh, yeah,
100%.
Yeah. No, brilliant penalty, I thought. Yeah. I thought we took that away beautifully.
He don't miss him much, does he?
And then our second goal was Spurs. Our second goal was it was a bit of a fuck up from their keeper, wasn't it? I mean, it's just coming from a throw on or something like that, or
Jinxon threw it in. Sacco
hit it, and then
Kouyaté followed it up.
Kouyaté, just followed it up, smashed it in. 2-2. I'm thinking game on. We've got our towels up.
I'm sitting there thinking we're going to win this.
Yeah,
really did. That was all I saw.
I said to you
from that point.
I said to you at half time when we got back to 2-2. I said I'll take back everything I've just said about us.
Yeah.
I'll take back everything. And then, just again, this time, all Cresswell first half, Jenks second half.
Yeah.
Giving the ball away. Exposed for their third goal, which was a beautiful finish. He done our defenders like a kipper.
Great finish.
Absolutely wonderful finish. Then they get a penalty, well-deserved penalty as well. He skins Jenks again.
Jenks is an idiot. Why pull him back? Like,
it's frustrating.
Yeah, but now that we've got another red card, that's 5 red cards, and we ain't even out of August.
Yeah.
we fucking won the fair play last year.
But that's it. It's frustration when you're in that position, and he knows himself. The geezer skinned in there, and he
but it don't help the team, does it?
No, exactly. But you do it. Loads of players do it. You just think, I'm having a shit day, cunts gone past me 3 or 4 times.
Oh, watch your language, son.
Whoa!
It's a pound in a swear jar with that word.
That's worse than Spurs.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would have started Maiga over Nolan, just because he gives you a lot more.
Yeah, he gives you a bit of mobility, doesn't he? That's what I'm saying. He gives you a bit more movement. Nolan's legs have gone.
Yeah,
do you know what I was saying before? I was saying at the statue just before. I was talking to a couple of people. I was saying, I feel so sorry for him because he gets dug out, and do you know what? Rightly so for his footballing ability. You know, I'm not saying that it's right to have a go at him. I'm not saying it's right to boo him, but his legs have gone, and it's not his fault that he's not playing. Do you know what? I'll give that geezer props because he leads the team out. He's not scared to go out there and lead the team out. You know, he knows in his heart of heart how bad he's playing. He knows how bad games he's having. He knows himself. He would have looked at himself. He's thinking to himself, you know, my career's coming to an end now. You know, he's only going to be in the game another year or two.
Yeah.
Blatantly. But he ain't afraid to fucking go out there. He ain't afraid to sort of lead the team. You know, he gives his all when he does it. His just legs have gone. It's not his fault. You know, it's the management team. They've kept him on. You know, I just feel so sorry for him.
He's playing. People say, "Oh, he probably played as a forward," but he didn't. You know, when he was up top with Carroll and players like that, he weren't really a forward. He sits off the striker, but being asked to do that at the age he is, like you said, there's no confidence in him.
I'm not surprised when he's got everyone on his back.
That's what I'm saying. You know, there's no. But for me, as much as that's a kick in the nuts for Nolan being put out there, go play up front, being a scapegoat, right? It's a bigger kick in the nuts for Maiga because you're a striker. Even Elliot Lee, who ain't even in the squad, alright, if he's injured, that's fair enough. But they're strikers. That's their position. That's where they play. Like, they might not be Premiership quality strikers, but their movement, what they're reading in the game, it's a striker's reading of it. You know, and if you're sitting there and I've said to me, Fielder's getting picked up front over me. Why should I bother? And to be fair, Maiga's response was to go and score a goal, so you can't ask more.
He came on. I mean, we was down to 10 when he came on.
Yeah.
Or just before. He just come on before that. Come on for Sacco. It looked to me like Sacco was injured, which is a worry.
Yeah, when they had the second drinks break, when he was over, he was talking to the physio, and they rubbed something on his leg, and he lasted.
Maybe precautionary.
Maybe they brought back the magic sponge.
No, it wasn't now. It's super sponge. But
I think that's precautionary. It's got to be. If he weren't injured, then
you wouldn't risk him because we need him next week.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Going to Anfield with Maiga up front.
But you can't play him next week on his own. Definitely. He's so isolated. He was doing all of Nolan's running, and I'm saying to you, Nolan was standing there. You know, he can't move anymore. He's just got no movement about him. Sacco was doing all. You don't want him there. You want Sacco central. So when the ball comes in, you want him on the end of it.
You need your striker in the box.
Well, like we said, we need to get a striker.
So what of this season now? That's another bad loss. You know what I mean? And I said the Arsenal result looks like it was a fluke. It just sort of like the tactics. He just luckily got wrong because he ain't got the last two wrong. We go now to Anfield. We then play Newcastle at home, who, they need results. They've got to have a good season because they had a real bad season.
Maybe that's what we need, though, a night under the lights.
The thing is, it's one of them, and
I was saying to you though, wasn't I, on the way down here, we lost to Southampton. It was Spurs and Southampton at home last season, the first two games. So it's not all doom and gloom yet. You can't after 3 games.
It ain't, but to be fair, Spurs and Southampton ain't Bournemouth and Leicester. And
but Spurs were poor last season.
That's no disrespect. They still come 6.
No, but at that time we played them, we had Vaz, Joe O'Brien and Colton Cole, and we ripped them apart that day. But
even still, they're different sort of. You've still got them to come. You know what I mean? Like, you can't be looking at home games against like Southampton and that and thinking you're going to get a win.
You can't do that against.
No, you can't do that against anyone. But if you're playing them teams at home, sort of the Bournemouths, the Leicesters, you expect to be picking up some points here.
You do.
You know what I mean? They're the ones you've got to target. When you get Spurs here, I mean, London Derby, anything can happen. We've beat them a lot of times over the last few seasons. You know what I mean? But they're still going to come in. Like, as much as we don't like to say it, the last 10 years or something, they've finished above us in the league. So I'm not saying they're a bigger club, but they've got.
When you looked at them fixtures when they come out, you sat there and thought,
them two
might nick a draw at Arsenal.
Yeah.
Should turn over Leicester. Should Bournemouth. Should
definitely turn them over.
And then Liverpool away.
Yeah, but I sit there on when the fixture list come out, Scott, and I go every game, and by the time I'm finished, we're second in the league at the end of the season. And you think, we get a win now. Yeah, we're getting a win now.
It don't happen, but you got to be beating Bournemouth. You can't
not playing like that.
No, I totally agree. But there's no justification to lose the way we lost.
If we want to have the season we're expecting.
Scored 4. They put 4.
So what do we do? Are we starting to prepare now for a mid-table battle? Are we starting to? Because we're not going Europe.
I think we were preparing for a mid-table battle before the season even started.
To be honest, said that.
No, but well, you got to be looking at. You ain't got to be looking at it this early in the season, but a couple more bad losses. The next 3 on the bounce, and we're banging trouble. We're banging trouble as it is. You know what I mean? But
you can't. You ain't going to say a cliche that
next 3 games still above Chelsea. Remember that.
I think in this league there's 3 teams that, no matter how bad we play, there'll still be 3 teams worse than us.
I thought Bournemouth was going to be one of them.
Listen, I said to you on post-match pint a couple of weeks ago, Bournemouth will go to big clubs. We're a big club to them. Yeah. They will get results this season. They're going to enjoy it. I still think they'll go down.
They'll do what Burnley done. They'll do what Blackpool done. They'll go there.
But I'm not going to take anything away from Bournemouth today.
No, they play well.
4 goals away from home.
I thought when it wins 4-3, I thought, here we go.
And conceding 3.
Another Bradford City game, yeah?
Not with 10 men, I'm afraid. I know it sounds all like doom and gloom. I mean, let's give it another few weeks before we start putting a nail in the coffin. But I'm just saying, this is the nightmare start for him. This is the nightmare start. Apart from that Arsenal result, with the games coming up, the next 3 games, this is the nightmare scenario that I was explaining in post-match pint Lushentans. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. This is the nightmare scenario.
Yeah, that's it.
No, it's the nightmare scenario.
No, yeah, I know.
They cannot afford West Ham to be involved in a relegation. They can't be flirting with that this year. They need. So, how long do they give him? before they start ringing up fucking Sam and going, oh please Sam, come back.
They won't. At the end of the day, it's 3 games into the season. We can't sit in there and think about relegation.
No, you can't.
Because last season we was exactly the same position, and then we went on this massive run, and we was 4th in the table up until Christmas.
You've got to look at that when you're 6 or 7 games in.
No, you got to start. You can't really judge your season until the end of September. You know at the end of September where you're gonna. Well, you know the teams.
I want to give you 2. I want to give you something. Someone said to me on Twitter today. I don't know how true it is. I haven't checked out the facts, but someone told me that Saka and Kouyaté go away for September.
What for?
And they're going to miss 2 games. Called up for Senegal.
Yeah, but it's an international break.
That's nothing to do. Yeah, September's in national break.
Yeah.
England will be playing.
Plans.
They won't be able to do it during the season unless it's the African Nations Cup.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Don't believe everything.
Yeah, no.
Oh no. We roped it.
It'll probably be the international break time.
Right. One last thing before we stop about this game. Positives. Any positives today?
Maïga's goal.
Maïga's goal. Good goal.
Good goal.
Really good goal.
Good goal. The fact we
took about 4 players on.
Yeah, I know.
Skills and touches with his left, and rollovers with his right, and all sorts.
Positives I take is that we come back from 2-0 down.
Yeah.
Got into the game. That's a positive I take.
A game that we shouldn't have been in because it was all dead and buried.
Look at half time. There was no way at half time you're sitting there thinking we're going to get back into this.
No, I couldn't see it.
No,
I couldn't see nothing. I couldn't see nothing.
That's positive. As I said, we won the second half.
Yeah, but we can't get points for that.
No, but you've got to look at it as a positive performance-wise. Yes, we did.
It's 2-2. It's
3-2 to us.
Oh, 3-2.
We lost 4-3.
Sorry, mate.
Mission 10s.
Mission 10. Yeah, go on. Sorry. I thought it was 4-2.
But yeah, you know.
Don't take Maïga's goal away from him. You've just been praising him.
That's a positive.
Took his chance.
Randolph?
Who's fucking Randolph?
Is he going to be full of slow on Christmas Eve?
That's Rudolph. This show's just gone completely fucking tits up.
Yeah, go on, Randolph.
His performance in goal, you know.
But he still conceded 4.
Yeah, but
when your team concedes 4 and you're home to Bournemouth and your goalkeeper gets named man of the match, that tells you something about the game.
I thought they was going to give Scott Parker man of the match. I think they always used to. Even when he didn't play, they give him man of the match.
But you know, he didn't. Compared to what we've seen of him crosses wise and all that in the friendlies and in the European games, you know, he flapped at a lot of crosses. He didn't really have that problem today.
No. I thought he'd done well, commanded his area well.
Yeah, I said
made some 2 brilliant shot stops.
Yeah, you can't. All 4 goals he did.
At the end of the day, they've got a week now.
He nearly saved the penalty.
Yeah,
he was close because I sit above.
You got to look at it. Like, if Adrian, would you expect Adrian to save any of them 4?
No, he wouldn't have done.
Especially the first 2. They're close range and they're bullets. You know, it's
the thing is
the third one. No keeper would have a chance.
They've got a week off now, like to prepare for the Liverpool game. They need to. Well, hopefully we can get some signings. You know, because we fucking need them.
Right.
Need to make it work.
Let's move on because I've got a couple of things I want to say about this subject. Ryan's put out a video in the midweek. If you haven't seen the video, it's all concerning this Knees Up Mother Brown podcast that was got broadcast on Thursday. The Sullivan family were on it. They've all, Sullivan Senior said something. If you haven't heard about it, this is what I'm going to explain it to you. Sullivan Senior has come out and made some what I deem as derogatory comments against Charlie Austin, a player that we've got no right to be commenting on. He's not our player. David Sullivan isn't his physician, so he don't know his ins and outs of his injuries. He's going by the grapevine. Made some what I class as derogatory comments. You can take it a different way. People are saying it's taken out of context. I must say, before we go on to this, I listened to the podcast and I don't think it was taken out of context at all. I'm sorry to the people at Knees Up Mother Brown because we do have quite a close relationship with them. For me, before we start this conversation, they've done nothing wrong.
No, they only asked the question.
Yeah, they asked the question that a viewer's put to them. I don't know. I know Graham Howlett You know, I've been in contact with him on email. You know, before we even started this show, he used to write a few pieces for them. He come out and apologised. For me, he's got nothing to apologise for. They put a question to them. They answered it as bluntly as they can. I know James and Chris have taken sort of a diplomatic stance, saying they didn't, you know, and it may be because they want to get them on the podcast again, you know, but I don't know whether they will do it now because of what's happened. But, you know, it's made national press. Right, Ryan, you've had your say. Do you still feel the same way?
Of course I do. I ain't going to back down because it's the Sullivans. Like, I had the two boys tweeting us and all that. Listen, at the end of the day, I'm a fan. I pay my money. Wherever anyone says, like the other 35,000, like the fans, we are allowed an opinion. If I don't agree with something they say, I'm going to stick to it. I don't care if they're the Sullivans, the Golds, whoever.
Yeah.
You know?
But that's just what
no, but I'm not going to back down. I'm not going to kiss arse for them. You know, because they're the Sullivans. At the end of the day, I personally feel that they shouldn't be on Twitter. They shouldn't be, because they have put our club in the press again for bad reasons.
But to be fair to the two boys, I'm going to defend the two boys here. They didn't say anything a lot. You know, they sat there and listened to their dad. Mr. Sullivan isn't on Twitter. The chairman isn't on Twitter. So there's not really. I know what you're saying is sort of like a long-term thing, but before we go on to that, what's your take on this whole thing?
At the end of the day, he shouldn't. He's a fan, right? He owns a club. Yeah, he has an opinion about players. That's fine, but the position he's in, he shouldn't express his opinion on players. It's not, you know.
Totally agree.
In private, he can say what he wants.
Yeah, I totally agree.
But he's a public figure.
Yeah,
you know.
Totally agree.
And he shouldn't say anything. If he was our player, fair enough, because he you know, he's talking to the
do you know what?
He knows all that.
I don't care. He shouldn't be even saying that. There was something else mentioned that I'm going to go on to as well. You haven't mentioned this, but there was something else mentioned that I was going to go to. This is my stance on it, right? I'm going to tell you my stance on it. His opinion, everyone is entitled to their opinion about anyone in the world. It's the right of free speech, right? The problem is with Mr. Sullivan is that, unfortunately, because he's a fan, and I know he gets as passionate, and don't get me wrong, look, I'm going to put this out there right now. I love the two chairmen, yeah, and I've backed everything they did. And to be fair, I'm going to have a little bit of a, not a dig, but anything I've ever said positive about the two chairmen has never been mentioned. But everything we say that's negative comes back to us, right? So, right, I'm going to put this out there. I support the chairman. If we wasn't for them, we wouldn't be watching Payet and Sacco and Andy Carroll. We'd be watching Aidan Mullins running around in our midfield at 40 years. Hold on. Let me have my say.
Yeah, go on.
Right? Unfortunately for him, as passionate as he gets, he is the mouthpiece of our club.
Yeah.
If he goes onto a podcast, if he comes and sat here, he represents West Ham United. It's his club, yeah. No matter, and people have been saying about, you know, it's, you know, it's his money and we don't mean nothing and all that. Whatever, you know what I mean. Whether we mean something or not, it's my club before it was his club. If you know what I mean. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's always going to be my club. The day when he sells up, I'll still be going. So will you. Yeah? So, at the moment, in this moment in time, this geezer, I've got to come but that's not, this geezer,
that's your penny pop.
has put an opinion out about a player that A, don't belong to us.
Yeah.
B, he's got nothing to do with him. If he's not interested in him, he shouldn't even be answering questions about him. He should have just turned around. When they said to him, Charlie Austin, whatever the question they asked, he should have just went, we're not interested in him, end of story.
Yeah.
You don't need to say, you know, he couldn't keep. This is what he couldn't keep QPR in the league on his own. Well, fucking, I don't think Messi would have kept QPR in the league on his own because he's one player. Take Messi out of Barcelona, he cannot keep fucking whoever in the league on his own. I don't give a fuck what anybody says, and that is the first thing he said wrong, right? The second thing, he ain't got no ligaments in his knee. Unless David Sullivan's a fucking physician and he's got his own practice over West London in Hammersmith somewhere, and he regularly visits him, he don't fucking know. Because he's never managed him, he's never had him at his club, so what the fuck does he know?
Yeah.
Les Ferdinand knows, Charlie Austin knows, and they both come out after him and said, he's alright. I know that he's got problems with his knees, but that has got nothing to do with David Sullivan, that has got nothing to do with West Ham. If West Ham do not want to part with £15 million for him, turn around and say, you know what, we ain't got the money for him.
Yeah, that's it. Which is the truth.
This was the other thing that sort of got on my nerves with this as well, was when he turned around and said, we don't want another Dean Ashton incident. We don't want. Listen, Dean Ashton was fit. He got injured on international duty. He got his leg. Listen, we could sign. Real Madrid could sign Gareth Bale for 100 million, which we'll have. You know what I mean? Yeah. But he could go out on the first game and break both his legs and never play again.
Yeah.
Collins could do him in training tomorrow. That ain't got nothing to do with.
I've said this before. Look at Fulbert. Right, when we signed Fulbert, he was the next best thing coming out of France. Yeah, plays one game, gets injured, never recovers. It happens. That's football. You know, like I said, Dean Ashton was going on to be the next big thing in English football.
The fortunate thing for him is, and whether you think he's been taken out of context or not, he should not have put himself in that position. I've listened to the podcast. I listened to it first thing when it came out. And I must admit, before it hit the press, before it hit anything, the minute it was uploaded, I was listening to it in the library. I was in the library doing some work. I was listening to it, and as soon as he started talking about it, I thought, you know what I mean? That's wrong. And you know, I tell you what, another thing was wrong with him. The thing about him is he's got a tendency of putting his foot in his mouth. Mr. Sullivan, you know what I mean? There's a couple of things now. I mean, you want to be the chairman of West Ham, be the chairman of West Ham. Like David Gold seems to sort of like do his stuff dignified. Well, David Sullivan, he goes on fucking Soccer AM. The chairman of clubs shouldn't be going on Soccer AM midway through the season wearing T-shirts of a fucking film they're trying to promote.
So Sullivan's passion comes out, I think.
It does, and it's unfortunate.
But then I sit there and do a video and my passion comes out.
Yeah.
So I can express what I want to say. Yeah. I've got an opinion.
But you're not the chairman of West Ham.
But I'm a fan. I put money into the club.
Yeah, I'm not disputing that, right? And you, as I said before, everyone's right to have their opinion. Yeah, we can all have opinion. We don't have to agree on everyone's opinion, but we can all have an opinion. But he is a public figure, and he should keep his opinions to himself. But as I said, I think what it is, the passion for the club takes over. He loves West Ham.
Yeah.
You know, don't get me wrong. Like you said, and we've said before, without him and Gold, we'd be playing League 2 football.
In the slums, yeah.
We'd be with Portsmouth. No doubt about it. We were in such a shit situation financially, we were going under. Right? And when that last time we got relegated, if it weren't for them two, we'd be gone.
But the thing is, this is what sort of got on my nerves with everyone tweeting or whatever. I've never said a bad word against Gold and Sullivan, and I've always stuck up for them all the time. But I'm not. If I don't, I'm never going to agree with everything they do. If I don't agree with it, I'm going to say it.
Exactly.
Like we said about the tickets. Like we said about them bringing out free kits.
When we said about the tickets, we all reiterated that we're with the chairman. We support the chairman, but we don't agree with this. That's our view. You know.
I just feel he was covering his arse with the Andy Carroll situation.
Yeah.
That's what I think.
Look, he made a remark about it, and it, you know, we can't do that again. We can't gamble that again.
But you can go and buy any player and they can break down.
Listen, Charlie Austin has played more games in 5 seasons than Andy Carroll has in his own career.
We'll put it this way, Charlie Austin scored 18 goals last year.
Yeah.
If he's that bad, he still scored more goals than our top goal scorer last year.
And to be fair, he scored 18 goals for a side that created probably 20 chances.
Andy Carroll's played 28 games in 3 seasons.
Exactly.
And that's not a knock against Andy Carroll.
Look, I love Andy Carroll. I think fully fit Andy Carroll
you'd have him in any team.
Yeah, definitely.
Listen,
but you know,
it's a split, innit? People with the Sullivans, people against the Sullivans. That's called opinions.
Yeah.
I'm not against him.
I'm not against.
No, I mean that Austin statement. That's what I mean. Not against them personally.
It's totally wrong. I think it's totally wrong. And you know, to answer your question, boys, if you're sitting there watching, what has he said wrong? That's what he said wrong. Because he said something when he should have said nothing, and that's as simple as that.
Of course it is.
You know, and there's something else as well. I don't really go on about this because I know we're going on a little bit. There's something else he said about that ain't been picked up because he's been brushed over by this Charlie Austin thing. Is the fact that he turned around and said, "Oh, people were telling me to sell these players, sell that player." Don't you think we've tried to offload these players? I'm not going to mention names. Everyone knows who he's talking about. Everyone knows who he's talking about. Like, why say that? It's just putting people down again. He put someone down the other week. Allardyce.
He done it on the podcast about Allardyce. They were sitting there laughing about him, saying about Bilic won't. Hopefully, Bilic won't have to win us a playoff final. What I didn't get about that is Sam Allardyce didn't take us down.
No, Sam Allardyce got us up. Job and got us up. Yeah. Look, listen, I didn't like the way we played under Sam Allardyce.
Do you know what? I'm going to say it now. I didn't like any of their attitudes on the podcast.
No, right. With Allardyce, didn't like the way he played, but he did his job. He did what he was asked. Right? We don't know what they've asked of Bilic or anything like that, so we'll see. But again, it's not something you say. Whether they got on, whether they didn't get on.
I think that transfer dealings and discussions should be done through Bilic. Bilic should be the one talking about players, not a chairman coming on a show like this or a podcast and all like that. Yeah, he's going to get asked them questions, but brush them over.
The thing that bugs me, right, with them is with the goalkeeper, Randolph, and Endry, both signed before Bilic was even signed. Why are we signing players before we've got a manager?
Do you know what? I'm not going to. Do you know what? I'm not even going to comment on them sort of things because I don't know what goes on in the club inside and out. All I know is what he's put out and what he said, and that I don't agree with what he's saying. And I think he's made us look like a laughing stock again. I feel. Do you know what? People say, "Oh, you worried about Charlie Austin's film?" Nah. Do you know what? I'm worried about the geezers trying to make a career. And imagine if he was trying to go to McDonald's. And Burger King turned around and went, "I won't take him because his hands don't work. He can't flip a burger." Look, when you've never worked for Burger King.
Would you put in a transfer request to KFC?
To be fair, I don't give a monkeys about Charlie Austin's feelings, whether he's got.
I don't give a fuck about Charlie Austin's feelings, but that's wrong to put a geezer's career down.
Yeah, but
you just don't have to say anything, Scott. You don't have to say nothing. You just don't. If you don't want him, you just say, "We're not interested in Charlie Austin. I'm not paying £15 million for him." Conversation done.
It's negative press against our club once again because all this week it's been about the Olympic Stadium, fans signing petitions. They're not going to get nowhere with that. I don't know why they're doing it. They're wasting ink. What makes me laugh, right? Let me just quickly go on to this Olympic Stadium thing, right? Everyone keeps banging on about it, right? No one forgets to mention about Spurs getting a new stadium and the mysterious warehouse that they couldn't get rid of burnt down, and now they can build over it. No one talks about the Boris Johnson's giving them 8.5 million towards that stadium.
No.
You know, no one's talking about the jobs that we're going to generate through the Olympic Stadium. You know, so what if we're getting it for free?
Listen, the only people that have investigated, right?
No, but no, you know what I mean. So we're getting it. We can go into it. We ain't got to build it.
The only people that have investigated us going into there is Orient because Barry Allen's nose got put out of joint, Tottenham because they were fucking jealous, and the BBC. And to be fair, the BBC is the biggest waste of taxpayers' money.
Yeah. I'm not going to listen to a company who cover up things that happened in the 70s. I'm not going to say it, but you know what I mean. I'm not going to listen to a company.
But they're the only people who looked into it. Yeah. And they ain't even looked into it.
Don't even get me started.
I'll tell you about the BBC. When all that nonsense come out, I'll look to see if I can get out paying my TV licence. Yeah. So I would never watch anything from them ever again.
Exactly.
They're lucky EastEnders is on there because I wouldn't watch it. No, but honestly, I'm not worried about the BBC.
No, but
they need to worry about it themselves.
They're the only people looking into it because their noses are put out of joint. That's it.
Fans are jealous and bitter that we're moving in and we're moving on to bigger and better things.
City have done it. City done exactly the same thing.
No one worried about City because City at that time weren't how they are now. They never had the money.
Do you know what though? No, do you know what as well? Yeah, I'm going to say something about. Someone was making a point in the thingy today, saying about. Chelsea and Tottenham fans are signing it because they have to pay 11 to 14 million pound a season to play at Wembley. Yeah, because Wembley's privately fucking owned.
Exactly.
Arsenal fans are signing it because we beat them. They are.
Look, at the end of the day, it mainly boils down to no one batted an eyelid at Man City when they got that stadium because no one thought that anything, and everyone thought Man United were top notch. It's the fact that we're in London. And how many rivals we got here?
Most.
Listen,
Man City had Man United, that's it.
just because you move into a new stadium, if you get a new kit, a new stadium, whatever, it doesn't make you a great team.
Of course it doesn't.
Well, it ain't guaranteed success. We've still got to build. So
have got to build.
it don't matter if we play at the Olympic Stadium or we play at Hermit Road Park. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's just fans jealous. Everything. This is what I mean. It's negative press against West Ham all the time. But it don't help when you got your owner coming out this week with these comments. But let's just forget about it now anyway.
Right, let's move on.
I'll have a lawsuit on me.
I'm not getting sued. Let's move on to transfers.
Charlie Austin.
Charlie Austin, yeah.
No, we need a striker.
We need desperately before Liverpool. We need something. Do you know what I want to talk about before we go? It was transfer rumour. Rob Green, disappointed in him. Big disappointment in him. Apparently, he turned down us because he wants 50 grand a week for a backup keeper.
Yeah.
And he wants a guarantee of first team football.
He ain't going to get that here, is he?
Which is what he left for in the first place.
Oh, he left for a better career and he's had 2 relegations.
Yeah, but he wanted that extra 10 grand a week. Right,
50 grand a week at his age. Is he joking?
But we don't know whether that's true.
No, I don't know whether it's true. I just want to comment on the speculation. If that is true, I'm disappointed in him. If it ain't true, I'm sorry, Rob Green.
I'll happily take him back because he's a good goalkeeper.
But not for 50 grand a week.
Oh, no.
But after
not when Kiate, what the fucking name is on 15 grand a week.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
Double his wages, 30 grand a week.
But yeah,
amazing.
We're in desperate need of some players.
We need about 4 or 5.
Yeah.
We're not going to get that in a week.
No.
We ain't got the money.
We're panicked, and do you know what?
Colton Cole.
If Colton Cole turns up on transfer deadline day, I can't come back. We could give him away at the end of the season.
Is there any other news this week?
We can't give any player away at the minute.
Players we've been linked with this Yilmaz Galatasaray striker.
Turn us down.
I don't know. You got Musa Sal out there. You got Hernandez. I can't see any of these players coming to our club.
He's staying at Man United.
And a big fact is something that we said the other week is that going out of Europe has affected that, which you can't blame them. Hernandez could go and sit on Man United's bench.
Play Carling Cup, play the odd game here and there.
Colton Cole, I know it.
That's the thing. It's the worrying thing is that there ain't a lot out there available, and we haven't got the money.
You have to pay money.
Yeah, and we haven't got the money to go in and turn around and say.
Do you know what? Right.
Yeah, we'll give you.
What happened to this £30 million player we was going to sign?
They dismissed that on the podcast.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, he dismissed it. Said I never said that, but
he did.
I've seen quotes from him saying that he could. You know, he got a bit overexcited.
Listen. At the end of last season, he come out, or someone come out and turned around and said we were signing a £30 million player. Still waiting to see him.
You've never seen him?
No.
I think what they're doing with the striker situation is they're banking on Andy Carroll coming back fully fit and just using that. But they need to get. Do you know what? A lot of people probably won't agree with me on this, but I would bring Jermaine Defoe back to West Ham. He wants to come back to London. He's not happy. He's not settled up there.
He scored today.
Yeah, look, I would bring him back because I think he's a good player. He's a goal scorer. That's what we need.
Listen, Jermaine Defoe, right? Surrounded by the wrong people. That's
at the time, he was only young.
At the time, he was only young. That's what he is, right? And I know we've got a lot of bad blood with him, but step back from the West Ham fan point of view, I'd have him back any day.
I've got no problems with Jermaine Defoe. That's my honest opinion.
I don't care.
I'll never slate it.
I'll have him back if he scores us 20 goals.
Don't get me wrong, when he played for Spurs and he comes to the bowling or I went to the Lang to watch the games, I'll boo him. Yeah. But that's just a fact. But I've got no problems with him. He was young. How many young players have left clubs?
Of course I have.
Sterling.
Listen, the rumours are true about Mark Noble back when he was young and we got relegated. If we get relegated, I'm leaving. And he's still there and people love him.
Mark Noble would have said that. I'm not having that.
Well, that's what I'm saying. But
you're a liar.
Good people do that. I remember there's quite strong. I wouldn't even say in rumours. There's quite strong sources saying at one point when Di Canio was with us, he was saying I want to go to Chelsea because Vialli was in charge. He was wanting to go. He was meant to leave for United, but that deal got called off. But there was times when he went apparently bursting in the office and saying I want to go to Chelsea. Let me go to Chelsea. Let me go to Chelsea.
That's Di Canio.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like, you know what I mean?
But Defoe would do us a job. The guy scores goals. He's what we need.
Fucking Jermaine Jackson is doing us a job at the moment.
No, one thing we ain't had for a long time is a poacher. We ain't had that goal scorer who's in that 6-yard box and he'll put the ball.
Freddie Sears.
He scored a lot of goals for Ipswich, you know.
No, we need.
I'm not saying he's quality. I'm just saying. Like,
that's what I'm saying. Defoe has proven. I know. The thing is, when you look at his career and look at places he's played, he spends a lot of time sitting on the bench.
The thing is, results like this though could swing Song away. Could think
that to me that's dragged on so long, and now they're saying he's fouled a medical.
Two medicals.
But if he's injured, then why?
He's going to foul medical. Yeah,
exactly.
But the other day, didn't David Sullivan say medicals don't really matter?
No, he said something like. He said what he'll do is he'll talk to the medical team, and he's not going to pass a medical. Yeah. But if it's sort of something technical and they just say, he's going to be a couple of weeks away, a month away or something, then they'll take the gamble.
He's 27, you've got to take the gamble, isn't you? He's a world-class player, he's a great player.
I know this slightly goes back to Charlie Austin. Demba Ba, right? Demba Ba failed a medical because of his knees, and then we signed him a week later.
There's a couple of, there's that, right? They took the gamble on Demba Ba. Demba Ba has gone on to become one of the most prolific goal scorers in England at times. He's scored prolifically for us. He scored prolifically for Newcastle, and he would have scored prolifically with Chelsea if he would have been given a chance. And in fact, they've scored some very important goals for Chelsea.
Of course he did.
In the run up to their.
He done well what he done at Besiktas, which has surprised me. Why? With the links that Billy's had at Besiktas, why we didn't get him back?
One thing I would say that I could see happening this week is now that Pedro's gone to Chelsea, like Remy.
But he's another one that's meant to have dodgy knees.
Do you
know what I mean?
Everyone's got dodgy knees.
Again,
he's a footballer, mate.
Every football player's had injuries in their career.
I think whatever forward we bring in now will be on loan.
Yeah, it'd be a panic loan as well. It'd be Cole.
That's not even on loan. That's a permanent. 24-month
Nothing against
contract.
Cole. I love Cole, but come on.
Yeah, we at the end of the day we should be progressing and moving forward, and you can't. If we sign Cole back, said as much as he's done a job for us, if we sign him back, it's just going backwards. It's a massive step backwards.
Right.
Listen, transfer window time. If we're still sitting there with Nolan, with a couple of the other players who ain't there, and we haven't brought no one in, we've gone backwards.
Shut up!
Don't go to bed. That's where he is. Yeah. Let's end it there. Thanks very much again for joining us. There's a couple of things I want to mention. I want to mention our sponsors who we haven't mentioned in a while. East London Brewing Company, who renewed with us for another year. Thank you very much. Thanks for the beers. All Seasons Lettings, who have again renewed for another year. Thank you very much. That'll get us about. And I want to mention an upcoming night for the Ivory Rooms.
Johnny Artson.
Yeah, Reed's
restaurant in Billericay.
Reed's restaurant, Ivory Rooms.
I can't wait.
Super Johnny Artson is coming to the Ivory Rooms 9th of September. Scott, you don't even know. Look at his face.
I was talking about the other day.
Super Johnny Artson is coming to the Ivory Rooms. We're going.
It'll be a great night.
We're going to go to see the Welsh Dragon himself. Dinner, 40 quid, I think it's £39.95. 40 quid, 3-course meal, bottle of wine. Johnny Artson.
Bottle of wine?
Yeah.
Did they say that?
Yeah, apparently.
If not, you're buying loads of wine. It's on the Facebook, innit?
You can't even go to Harvester for 40 quid.
Yeah.
Get on them tickets, boys. We're going to be there. If you want to come and speak to us, we're going to be there munching and dancing and drinking.
You're going to have a dance?
Yeah, I'm going to have a dance, mate. Yeah.
The old Hawkins, you're going to have a dance? I'll pay fucking 40 quid for that.
9th of September, we're going to be there. And we've got some great content coming up off of that. That's going to be good. Obviously, we're going to Liverpool next week. Used to ain't going, but me and Graham are going. We've got some collabs coming up with. There used to be a geezer sits here. I can't remember. To be honest, I can't even remember what it looks like. Me and Graham are going to go, so we're going to do some collabs with the Redmen this week, and we'll see you again next week for Post-Match Pint Liverpool. And
I'll be here for Post-Match Pint.
Oh yeah.
I will be.
Oh, all right. No, he won't be. He's got to go work.
Sorry about that. Someone's got to
They
work.
prefer it when you're not, yeah?
Yeah, we'll be back for post-match pint. We'll be back for post-match pint Liverpool, and then again doing fan interviews outside the ground for Newcastle. So thanks very much for joining us for this another disappointing edition of post-match pint after another disappointing loss. But keep up the good fight and come on your hands.
Real quick, strikers we've been linked with Burak Yilmaz from Galatasaray. Obviously, Bilic knows him for his time when he was managing in Turkey. Good goal scorer, 30 years old, Turkey international. Apparently, his agents come out and said that a deal's been agreed between the two clubs. So hopefully, something might happen over the next few days. Because going on yesterday's game, we're in desperate need of a striker at the moment. It looks like it's just Sacco up front on his own. So yeah, I mean, hopefully we'll get that one done this week. Another striker is obviously Hernandez. Louis van Gaal's come out this week and said that he doesn't want him to leave. Maybe he's just holding out until they get another striker, but